to our exploration of the Kaumana Lava Tube caves.
These are remnants of the lava tube that were formed due to the eruption of Mauna Loa in 1881. The lava flow had just stopped short of high low. So after a brief period, the lava tubes collapsed, and the space where it collapsed is now the entrance to the two caves. Thanks to all the Google reviews that we read prior to coming here, we took a detour and purchased a good quality headlamps, which helped us a lot in exploration of the caves. The caves are pitch dark, and then the lights from the cell phones are not of much help at all. You definitely need headlamps with a good illumination, as well as very sturdy shoes and enough water to last at least a 4 to 5 miles of hike. We ventured into the left side cave first. We had to climb over boulders of lava rock, and then the surface was extremely rough, extremely sharp, and you slip and fall, you're sure to get a cut, not just a bruise. That's how rough it was and how sharp it was. Definitely need sturdy shoes. And our headlamps provided much needed light for us to continue our exploration. There were times where we thought that the cave was actually closed because the boulders were so high, but we were able to climb on all the boulders and kept going. There were places where we had to squat and bend down, and that did cause a little bit of backache, but it was all worth it. At the end of the cave, we saw sunlight, and that was because of another place where the roof had collapsed, and because of the sunlight we could also see some vegetation which was not present in other parts of the cave. And then as we ventured and then we climbed on the boulders, we were able to find a small opening, and we were able to climb out as well.
Endre, let daddy come. Nagre, daddy come. Come with me. We exit that way.
So that's me with a big grin after climbing out of the opening. We wanted to go through the wild growth, but then it was too sharp and we didn't want any scratches. So we went back the way we came and slowly made our way out of the first cave. So now on to the second part of the cave on the right, which was considerably different when compared to the first part of the cave that we explored. This had more so the ground where the rocks had collapsed, where we had to actually get down and walk. And then we had some amount of crab walk that we had to do because the opening of the cave was extremely small, and we obviously could not crawl because the rocks were too sharp. And this part of the cave, I guess, extends miles and miles, and then just kept on going. We couldn't see any sunlight, and I think after a couple of miles we turned back. An interesting part of these caves was we did not hear any echo. We tried all the screaming we could, but we didn't get any echo. I guess the iron in the lava rock, I think it absorbs, or I need to go read more about it. Another thing that we also realized is the lights doesn't get reflected much at all. They actually just get absorbed on the point where on the point which gets illuminated. So this was extremely eerie. You could see considerable differences in the formations that were created as the lava cooled down. Sometimes as smooth as icing on top of a cake, and sometimes the rough rocks, and sometimes big boulders, which were also smooth, or rough boulders. Collapsed surfaces, bat light drippings on the ceilings, shiny deposits on the walls. Overall, the experience was out of the world. We had a lovely time exploring the Kaumana caves, and hope you also got to see the same.